Hello, welcome to my messy fingers. I'm Charlie. I just completed this album and it does feature Grafix 45's Fairy Boutique. Now I got the collection from Scrap and Create. They're an online store. And in the bundled package, I got the 12 by 12 patterns. I got the 8.5 by 11 solids and backgrounds, and then the 8 by 8 pad, as well as the sticker sheets, the ephemera, the chipboard, and the rub-ons. So what I've done here on the front is first off, I've wrapped this in purple. This does measure at 9 by 9, and it has a 2.5 inch spine. So it's a pretty chunky little album. I lined it in white first so I could separate the colors, and then put in some blue. And then I backed it with some green so I can kind of get a flow going. And then I did some lace. I went to the center of the spine, pulled the two pieces together, and then I covered that up with paper pattern, and then I put in a chipboard piece. And then on the back you can see really well how that lace lays over, and then a little sticker off the sticker sheet. So on the front, I used the largest chipboard frame that there is in the chipboard collection. And what I did was I created a window spot for a photo. Now, if you don't like this, but you still want the composition, you can take one of the larger cards and you can trim it down. They'll almost fit. It just depends upon how your tape was. But you can trim it down and you can center it in here if that's what you want to do. But I'm going to leave it like this, so if someone wants to put that photo in there, then it's a dedication to that individual. This is an ephemera piece. I've got it popped up here on the edge because it's glued here. Ephemera. These are ephemera. This is ephemera. These roses here are ephemera. So is this. All of this is ephemera. The leaves, the roses, except I use the Grafix 45 tag, long tag die set to cut the flowers. And unfortunately, Scrap and Create is out of stock, and so is Grafix 45. So if you don't have this and you want it, you're going to need to Google it. So I won't be able to provide a link for you. I apologize. So we get down here, and I just layered in some purple so I could pull in the purple what I wrapped it in, and then some little pink halfback pearls on the center. So we'll get here on the inside, and we'll get to the very first signature. Okay, so here we have a double pocket. So this one here goes only that far, but it's big enough to fit in some nice, decent items. And then this one is a little deeper, and it goes all the way to the bottom so that you can put in things like this. So I matted in some photo mats. The flowers you can tuck up underneath all the way around, and it goes in right here. And I'm using some lace. And then we get over here, and this is again one of the frames out of the chipboard piece. I took one of the 8 by 8 cards and I cut this dress out and placed it over the dress that's actually on the card that I used. This is an ephemera piece. So when you open this up, you have here a pocket on both sides. And this piece and this, I'm just trying to create kind of pull the color, the patterns and everything in. And then here we've got another nice pocket. This is a ephemera piece that's been popped up with some foam. And here is another card. It measures at 4¼ inches wide by 8 inches high. And this is another framework that you can come in here, slide in a photo, or if you want, use some of the smaller cards that are in here, and you can frame in something if you wish. and then I matted it in here. And then you've got the chipboard pieces, the lace, the big pockets. And then the pullouts, I only covered just the end. And then we're going to turn this over. And then on this side, this is one of the large cards. I use some Wink of Stella down in here. This is some curly lace that I have that I went around here on. It's magnet closed on the top and the bottom. And then when you open this up, this is a nice little pocket right here. And this is an ephemera piece. Open this up and we have top and bottom tucks here on both sides. Get that in there. And then we've got the nice big long pocket here. Then we get over here and we have another piece of framework that you can come in to on the side here and put in your photo. And once again, I use the die set and I cut out some floral arrangements. Here's some leaves off of that die set. And then once you get your image set in here, you can tack this down and the photo won't move out of there. So then you open this up and we have a nice little pocket right here. This is an ephemera piece that's been popped up. Ephemera piece that says hello. And then we've got this nice long pocket. These are all scraps that I've used here. And then this one here, we've got a pocket over here. This has got two ephemera pieces. This is a chipboard piece, and it opens up, and you've got a spot here for two photos. These open up against each other. Now, I didn't magnet close them. I didn't really think it was necessary, but if you make your own album, you can put magnets, but then you would want to cover these in here. Okay, and again, here's another card, and these are the brass little elements that Scrap and Create sent with the collection. Turn this over, and here we have a flip up for photos. This is an 8x8 piece of paper that I have framed in here, and I'm using double magnets on this. They're small ones. But you open this up, and you have a nice pocket here. This is a chipboard piece with some of the ribbon that was sent with the collection. And then you open this up, and we have a nice tuck here. And we've got a long pocket over here. And then this is a chipboard piece. And then again, some lace. I use lace throughout. And this one here, this is just a scrap piece of paper backed on purple that I ran across the top of this. And then I framed in this card, put it here, and then ran some lace across the bottom. But this flips up. So when you open this up, this was some leftover cutouts, and I put in one of the ephemera. It's popped up a little bit. And here's a nice spot for a tuck. And then the ephemera here that says Believe in Magic. And then we get down here, and this is just a lot of ephemera just to create a theme. None of these are tucks. Here's the lace. When you open this up, this is a small tuck down here. This is a part of the sticker sheet here, small pocket. And then I reversed the sides to give you a spot to do some journaling. And these are magnet closed, so you got some photo opportunities. And then these are a couple of ephemera pieces. And then we get here. And again, I have this curly little lace that I just love, so I wrapped it around this piece here. This was one of the last brass embellishments that I had, so I added it right there. This is sticker, these are sticker, these are sticker, and this is a sticker sheet, and then I added the lace across the bottom. This is going to open up. And here we've got a nice little pocket. This is the ribbon that comes with the pack. And we've got a chipboard element here. And these open up. Now, I did not do anything here simply because you've got a double magnet close. But you could make tucks or pockets or put photos here if that's what you wish to do. And then open these, and then we've got a couple of really nice long pockets over here, or tucks, and then here is a long pocket. This is a piece of scrap, and this is an ephemera piece. And then again, I made a little floral element for here. I put the little pink beads on, and then these were the very absolute last two of the brass. So I used all of them. And then we get to the last and final signature. This is using the 12 by 12 piece. I came in here and I cut the wings out all the way around. And then I put strips of foam underneath of them so that they would lift up off the page. So it had a little bit of texture to it, if you will, like she was kind of fluttering to the door. Here we've got a magnet closure that has one of the chipboard pieces, a pair of shoes, ran some lace. You open this up and we've got a nice long tuck here, both the top and the bottom, so you can come in with some photos. And this is a small little pocket right here. This is one of the cards that I cut and trimmed down, and then over the center dress I laid one of the sticker sheets. And then this piece here is the right side of this 12 by 12 that I cut off. I just simply moved it here. A chipboard piece with one of the small ephemera, and we have a pocket. And then we get in here and we've got four 4x6 photo mats, and these are 3.5 by 5 photo mats. There's 6 of these and 4 of these. And I just simply cover the inside. And then you get down here. This is the cuttings from the bottom of this. Okay. And that is my fairy boutique. And I appreciate you watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below. Also, you will find listed below in the description field the links to everything that it took to build this. With the exception of the die set, I can't provide that. I don't know where to find it at. I do sell this on my website, so I will provide a link for that as well. This will be on my website for sale. So if you want to purchase it rather than make it. And if you have not swung by Scrap and Create yet, send them some love. She's got some great sales going on, so you might as well try and take an opportunity and snag up some of those really good deals. And follow their page, follow their blog. They would love some love from you. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed the album, and I'd love to see you on the next build. Until then, bye-bye.